Hey, this is Big Girl Diary, or shall I say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is Big Girl Diary. Okay, this is no laughing matter. LA is on fire, LA County, and people are losing their home, their property, their properties. It's so wild that insurance companies started canceling insurances before this fire even started. That makes me question a whole lot of things, but that's just my 2 cent and my thought on it. But the main focus should be on the houses, and not only the houses, but whose houses were partially burnt or completely flattened. And what I find interesting is that this was on the eve of when Gibson dropped on his ex post at least a small list of the people that attended um, the Freco Office of P. Diddy and even the Jeffrey EpiPen list as well. Take a look at a few. Now, that's just a few of them, but it goes on. I find it quite sneaky and suspicious of the fire. Now, Karen Bass is the mayor of LA County, LA, and it just so happens that a couple of years prior to this right here, this horrible incident, they defunded the fire department. Let me ask you, who defunds the fire department? Who does that? And what who does that? Well, besides her, she was the one that got kicked out of Biden administration. He fired her like early on, and I guess she had to take one for the team before she became mayor. But that's just my little 2 cent on that one. But the fires at Palisades, Calabasas, Eaton, all these cities and small towns in LA County, that makes LA LA. LA. And all these homes. Now, as we paid attention to the P. Diddy trial and them raiding his house and finding tunnels, and where do these tunnels lead to? And he happened to live close to Hugh Hefner, that has been a big party guy for a very long time, and everyone was okay with it until now. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. But I think, and this is just simply me putting on my super headband, super headband pack, and that is this a way to get rid of the evidence? Many people who committed, or shall I say, some people who committed crimes used fire to get rid of it. And this fire is unfettered. I mean, they have nothing to stop it, nor do they have planes or helicopters dropping water to stop the fire. They didn't do that. Gavin Newsom didn't say, "Hey, this right here is a horrible thing, and let's go ahead and put out the fire and call this a state of emergency." He's calling it a state of no emergency. And just the fact that he's slow on it, Karen Bass was out in Africa and Ghana, and now that she comes back and she's looking and she has nothing to say. What can she say? She's at a just looking at her, she had no words, and the look on her face told the whole story of, I didn't know this was going to happen. Why on my watch? How comes I'm not under a rock? But let's look at a couple more names. She's Karen Bass is just completely, I don't even know what to say. She had zero words. And the reporters went after her. That was the first time reporters were actually reporting something and they were going after public officials. It's about time. It's about time. Now we got to look at some of the house. I mean, some of the people who lived there: Kim Kardashian, Tom Hanks, and Rita Wilson. Tom Hanks' son came out and said that their house caught fire, but they're in Greece. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are in Greece. And I don't know if they're living there now or if they became Greek citizens, because I remember there was some talk about them becoming Greek citizens after Jeffrey Epipin's indictment and his going to jail and no longer on this earth. It didn't stop the list. The list is coming out, and they're no longer in the United States. There are stars who said, if Donald Trump wins, I'm leaving the country. Huh. You lived through many Republicans, and all of a sudden you want to leave when he's president? Not to mention he was president 8 years ago and you didn't leave, and all of a sudden you want to leave now? Okay. Okay. But here's a few more people on the list. On the list. You can't make this stuff up. To me, it's quite suspicious. Just just in my headband, just in my headband, whatever you want to call it. It's quite suspicious that this fire occurred. No water. The fire department was defunded. The mayor had no problem doing it. The governor had no problem signing off on it. The state representatives were quiet about it. I mean, there's so much shh going on. And just remember the last time they had the fires, the Santa Ana fires, that were a natural occurrence with the wind during the summertime around there, not wintertime. It, 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 it's it doesn't make any sense. But there's so many things that's starting to connect. And before it didn't make sense, but now that all these rich people's houses are burning to the ground, it's like, okay, now I understand it. But that's just me. That's just me. So here's what do you think? Do you think I'm just overthinking it? I mean, look, P. Diddy, his house had tunnels. I mean, hey, where do those tunnels go to? And what are they trying to burn up? Just a thought. But